Hello, and for the first time ever, welcome to the Party Dungeon, because this is Dungeon Party. I am your DM, Blake Peebles, and here are your players. We're going to go around and introduce ourselves.
Hi, I'm Alyssa.
Hi, I'm Emily.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Peter.
Sweet. That's all of us. So, welcome to Dungeon Party. This is a D&D show. This is our promo episode for this D&D show that we're going to be doing. It's going to be we're going to upload twice a week. Every week for, as long as we can. So yeah, this is a promo episode. Go check out our Kickstarter, because right now we're filming with just whatever we could get. If you'll check out the lamp over here as a tripod. It's really good. So yeah, please go check out our Kickstarter. We love to do this, but it would be great if we could have real equipment. We'll link it in the bottom. It links to here. It's a circle of joy. Cool, so yeah, we're gonna get going, and we're gonna start this thing off. And I'm gonna put the good music on.
It's good music.
There we go. Well, the thematic music.
All good music.
You heard the music's feeling.
I'm sorry, music. You're all good. Okay, cool. So, our adventure begins in the coastal city of Marwood, the capital of Zextria, a coastal city in the country of the Bergen Coalition. Marwood is an interesting city. It's a large, bustling port town, with the only exception from a normal port town being that the entire thing is on the water. It is made entirely of docks, and there are ships coming constantly in and out of it. It's an interesting place. A lot of people like to make pilgrimages there, and the headquarters of the Navy of pretty much the entire country, the Hammerhead Alliance, is located here in Marwood. All of you, for your various reasons, have found yourself in Marwood at the behest of a notice that you found posted on the mainland. A notice that read, "Strong hands and steel wills needed. Good pay for some practical fighters. Come to the Dockman's Lockbox in Marwood's Coffer District. Ask for Telsibar." Whether you needed the coin, whether you wanted the adventure, or whether you had nothing else better to do, you all managed to find your way to the Seafarer's Docks, sort of the entry port to Marwood from the mainland. And you see each other, and you can describe what you see.
Alright, so you see a shorter, half-elven woman. She looks maybe late teens, early 20s. There's a cloak. It has its hood pulled up over her head, kind of obscuring her features anymore. Her general armor is very navy blue, and it looks to be plate armor, and it has symbols of Palor, the little golden suns, into the pattern.
You see a large, bluish, Fishman, the body of a demigod. Long tendrils of hair.
An ass that won't quit.
Long tendrils of slimy-looking hair that sort of resembles tentacles. A hat placed upon his head, sort of bandana-like, but not quite. A little lumpy. A bite taken out of one ear, many fish hooks in the other, and just a lot of stuff on his belt, chains and ropes and things of that nature.
You see a younger human woman, like in her early 20s, blonde hair, blue eyes, and she looks very out of place because she's wearing a very ornate gown of pale pink with gold accents. It looks really expensive. She's like looking around like she's afraid of everyone, like, ugh. Hi. And she's covering her nose because she probably does not like the smell. And she probably is here because she's here because she has to be, not because she wants to be.
You see a tall, half-elven man, not built, but toned. He walks with a stumbling gait, his hair and robes kind of flowing, but disheveled as he walks.
But does his ass quit, though?
Like a little, he's more likely to quit.
His ass is fired.
It's more likely to quit than like the fishman, but not like gonna quit today.
Cool.
Retire?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
A retiree ass.
He's a young elf in his early hundreds, maybe.
Sweet. And as you see each other, you're sizing each other up. An individual walks up to you, a large man, sort of a sash slung across him. He takes a swig out of a bottle, corks it, puts it back on his belt, comes up to you guys and says, "Well, you look out of place here. Welcome to the Port District. Where are you looking for?" I could take you there for some coin. As he smiles, you can see some gold teeth flashing.
I ignore him and try to just look away, hoping he'll go away.
Are we all standing together?
Yeah. Well, you more or less like noticed that you all have the same notice. Yeah.
What was the name of the guy?
Where's
Talcin?
Talcin?
Talcin. Ooh, don't sue us. Talcin? What does he do? Is he a sailor? My accent changed. Doesn't matter. Is he a sailor? Is he own a shop? I mean, you gotta be more specific.
By the thing, I say, where's Talcin?
Make an intimidation check.
Oop, not one.
So you try to grab him, but your like slippery, like sort of wet hands just slide off of his chest, and you just sort of trip and say, "Where's Kelsimar?" And fall in front of him. And he looks down at you, sort of gives a curious glance, and he says, "All right, I can't help you if you don't give me any details. So fuck off." And he turns around and walks away.
Excuse me, sir.
He turns around.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I don't know him. We're looking for Talsimar. He put up these notices. Here, thank you.
Yeah, the Dockman's Lockbox. It's in the Coffer District. If you just head in from the Port District, you just stay on this dock. Pretty much go straight. You're gonna see a big circular dock. It's at the end of it. You can't miss it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. It's a bit slimy. And then he sort of stands there expectantly with his hand out.
I give him a high five.
And he turns around and walks away, muttering under his breath.
Well, I expect you all heard that, so I don't think I need to say it again. I'm gonna go. Feel free to follow me.
Before she turns around, I'm gonna just do the back. Deirdre?
Oh my god, how long has it been?
Oh my, it's been months.
Oh, you look great.
I also look great.
Are you with them?
It appears I am now. Hi.
He is not with me at all.
Give it a week.
Is he with you?
I have never met this person.
Give it 2 weeks.
Are you okay? You seem off balance.
Oh, fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Start getting like teetering as I said.
We know each other from a different...
We
Yeah.
went
You can
through
do
the
whatever you
flames
want.
together.
No, it was so much fun. Okay,
Alright,
let's
let's
go.
All right, so you start walking your way through through this town. It's interesting. The dock sort of sway as you walk on them. It's a little nerve-wracking. You're definitely fine with it. You're not having a good time, and you're way more wobbly than usual. Yeah. So
It's
you,
a judgmental look at you.
Wobbliness, it's all an act.
So yeah, as you start, you find yourself, you're in this bustling area of town when you first enter by the Seafarers' Docks. You see sailors walking around arm in arm, very drunkenly singing, though it is midday at the moment. You see people loading things onto ships. You see people. It's very busy. This seems to be like the port section of the town. But as you walk straight along this dock, you feel things start to calm down. Whereas that last part might have felt like the lifeblood of this place, Marwood, this coffer district that you find yourself entering serves as the heart in the veins of the city. You can see carts with raw materials being brought into stores. There's an overwhelming amount of stores that you're passing by. There's jewelers, fish peddlers, blacksmiths, theaters, high-class brothels, all open for business at midday, weirdly enough. The one thing that does catch your eye is you see a small halfling woman struggling to put up a sign over a building, and it says I don't know the name of it. It says the glistening tinder.
I'm gonna go over and help her.
She oh, thank you kindly. Oh, thank you so much. And with your help, she manages to tie it up. She says, thank you so much. I'm opening today at Glisten and Tinder, the only magic item shop in town. So if you need anything, you look like rough types, come on over. I'm Keely Halfstout. Nice to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you, Millie Carlisle.
When you say rough types, you meant those three, right?
Yes. Well, thank you. I've got to go set up shop, but if you need anything, I'm in your debt. And she walks inside the store.
No,
So yeah, you as you're walking through this place, you see all these stores. You pass by what looks like sort of a residential area, and they're between the docks. As you walk in the town, it's just seawater. If you take one wrong step, you're going in. Though you do notice an individual in the water. She seems to be wanting to be in the water. You make a nature check, because you might know what this is. But 14, cool, yeah. You notice this woman, she has like light blue skin, and it looks like sort of fins for ears. She's a Triton, a race that once came from the elemental plane of water. Sort of similar to your race, but a little more based in the elemental plane of water itself. You all notice that she is doing tricks with a dolphin to a crowd of admiring onlookers, children, families, and they're all clapping, and she seems to be having a great time. You also, as you keep walking, you see this and you turn, and you notice that you see two Bergen Coalition guards, them standing there in their bronze armor with the Bergen Coalition symbol on their chest. They're guarding an alleyway that seems to be roped off, right next to a building. Well, maybe it was once a building. It is, the windows are busted in. It seems as though it's half burned down. There's a sign that's hanging to the side that says Pocket Pinchers Bank. And as you walk past, you glance in the alleyway, and it's clearly the aftermath of some sort of struggle. There's blood splattering on the walls. Not pleasant. Yeah, it's worse than everything you've seen. Eventually, you make your way into the circular square that you were told to go to, and you find the Dockman's Lockbox. It is impossible to miss. It is a large, impressive building, in fact, one of the largest ones in the area, with a sort of like a faux dock worker theme on the outside. It's got algae-covered anchors and ropes and old rusted chests and chains hanging all over it, and it's very, very thematic for the town. Yeah, sort of like Trader Joe's. And there's like real ass crabs on there. It's cool.
Like Joe's Crab Shack.
Like Joe's Crab Shack. Yes. We're not sponsored by Trader Joe's or Joe's Crab Shack. So yeah, so you make your way, you see it, and there it is. There doesn't really seem to be an answer.
I open the door.
It opens.
This is a public building, lady.
It's let it go.
As you step in, you see that the outside was quite deceiving. The interior is sparklingly clean. It's decorated sensibly and ornately with an emphasis on pearls, white gold, and non-ostentatious shows of wealth. There's like chandeliers and, well, non-ostentatious. Like, it's clearly trying to show off the wealth of the place, but not too gaudy. It's sensibly decorated. There's chandeliers.
I think it's nice.
Upon arriving, you also notice it appears to be a bank that you've walked into. There are stations for tellers, and two doors on either side of this main entryway. As soon as you enter, an individual walks up to you. He is a half-elven man dressed in fine satin. He has long blonde hair that is tied back into a ponytail, and he has rings decorating his fingers. And he walks up to you, and he bows his head very decorously, and he says, "Hello, I am Samson. Welcome to the Dockman's Lockbox. How may I help you?"
We're here to see about this notice.
Oh, yes, you're the mercenaries. Talsamar has been waiting for you. Well, if you'll follow me to the lounge, you can relax there while Talsamar gets ready.
Thank you so much.
Of course, darling. And while I have you here, if you're interested in a membership to the Dockman's Lockbox, just let me know. We are the best bank in Zextria. And as well as one of the only these days. And he chuckles, and then he gestures and beckons you over to one of the doors, opening it, and entering.
I like sit down. My feet are killing me. The bottom of my dress is a little soiled.
You just sit down in the middle of the bank room.
Well, I thought there was chairs.
Oh, we're following him into the lounge.
Yeah.
Follow him into the lounge.
We
Just
go
follow
to
him
the
into the
lounge,
lounge.
and then we'll sit.
Okay. You follow to the lounge, and the lounge once again is a completely different style of decor. It's whoever made this place just couldn't pick. Clearly, it's dimly lit, warmly furnished, and filled with people, like very well dressed people. You look at home here. They're lounging and having a drink or two in this like nice bar lounge. Samson leads you over to a table with a round booth. He says, "Wait here, and I will fetch the proprietor. You may order from the bar." And he gestures to a bar, and there's sort of a surly-looking dragonborn standing there like he hates his job. You may order something from the bar.
Do you have menus?
Go ask him, and he will have them for you. I will fetch Talsamar. Enjoy yourselves. And he walks away. You see him turn and walk up a large spiral staircase that leads to a door up onto a second balcony. He knocks on the door, it opens, and he enters.
I was not expecting to be in such a nice place. The bottom of my dress is soiled from the docks. I use mending to start
Yeah, you see her using a magic spell to make her dress clean once more.
I immediately go to the bar.
I too am gonna head on to the bar.
I'm gonna sit down.
Cool. You come up to the bar, and you see this dragonborn, a green dragonborn, just leaning on his hand. He says, what can I do for you? Welcome to the Dockman's Lockbox. Fuck this stupid place. I mean, yeah, welcome. It's the bar. What can I get for you?
I'll take a Shirley Temple.
Surely. With no alcohol in it?
You heard.
All right.
what
Yeah,
I
that's
said.
fine. That'll be a copper.
I don't suppose you, this appears to be a fine establishment. I don't suppose you have any of the old, burnt birch?
Burnt birch? I haven't seen that in some 5-10 years.
That's what I thought. I'm all right. Thanks, though.
You good? I mean, we've got Stormringer's brew. We got non-canon spirits. We got some good stuff here.
I think I'll pass.
All right. Served you. Yeah, whatever you want. Shirley Temple. It'll be a minute, I guess. You sitting at that table? I can have someone bring it over to you.
It's for the lady.
Oh, so I'll... All right. And he turns around and he starts preparing it. He has to, sort of look at a piece of paper as though he has forgotten how to make a Shirley Temple. Because he doesn't often get asked to do this. But then he makes it, hands it to you, and says, good luck, I suppose.
I take it and I drink it on the way back. Finishing it before I get back to the table.
Okay, after I'm done repairing my dress, I say to Millicent, let's find out who we're gonna work for. And I go up and start trying to mingle with the other patrons. And through casual, polite conversation, ask about the proprietor.
Proprietor.
While she does that in our booth, I'm gonna, unseen by others, my armor becomes a dress similar to hers.
Cool.
Like blue.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I do the same.
All right. Both of you just make charisma checks for me.
Oh.
And I'll say an advantage for your nice dresses.
22.
12.
All right, so you have a little bit of a rough time. You look great, and people are like, "No, darling," and you're like, sort of out of your element here. You, however, you're killing it. This is what you were raised to do. You learned that Talsamar, he is a sea elf. He's been in town for about 5-6 years. He started this right when he got here, and it has slowly been becoming one of the most popular banks because not only can you keep your money here, and it's very safe, he has some very professional hired guards who are pointed out to you, and it looks like 3 just pirates basically who are sitting in the back of the bar. But also this lounge is one of the best bars, one of the only high class places you can go in this disgusting town. He's very nice. He gets how we work. We as people. And he is very generous, very good, a great guy.
So wonderful.
A little slimy sometimes, but hey, he's a banker.
Single?
I don't know, you'll have to ask.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the extent of the information you get. And as you both return to the table, and as you finish gathering information, you see that the door is open, and you see walking down, who you assume to be Talsamar. He is dressed. Yep. He's pretty heavy set. He clearly has spent his time banking, not fighting. Is an elven man who walks down. His skin has a tinge of blue, and the slight webbing between his fingers makes it clear that this is a sea elf. He's dressed in the finest of attire, a purple robe overlaid with a red sash with gold fringes. Each of his fingers have a ring upon them, and he's pretty clearly a man of business and money, not a man of action. He walks to the bottom of the stairs, looks around, and then spots you guys, and walks over, takes a seat next to you, says, "Hello." When he speaks, he has an accent, this like slight tinge of an accent that you can't quite place, and I'm not going to do because I can't do it. But it's a bit of an abnormal speech, and you've met with sea elves before, so you sort of are like, yeah, it's sort of a sea elf accent, but you guys, you haven't really seen it before. As he sits down, he snaps his fingers, and the Dragonborn rolls his eyes, pours 5 glasses of something into some glasses, brings it over to you, says, ice shard brandy on the house, and then he walks away. The Talsamar takes a sip and says, "Hello. I am so glad that so many capable individuals have come to answer my plea. You each look as though you could take on 15 pirates single-handedly." And then with a casual glance at Deirdre, "Well, perhaps most of you. I am Talsamar Yuler. I am the proprietor of this bank, and a rather important businessman here in Marwood. But enough about me. Let's get down to brass tacks, shall we? We here in Marwood have a bit of a problem. As a floating city, we have always had to worry about attacks of ill-tempered sea denizens, but generally the Hammerhead Alliance, our lovely navy, is able to keep us safe." Yes?
Nothing.
That is, until recently. Attacks perpetrated by the disgusting fishmen of the sea, the Sahuaghin, became increasingly common. He pronounces it like a dick, by the way. That's like sort of how you pronounce it, but he's like Sahuaghin. Like he took the language. For some reason, the Alliance can't stop these sea devils before they wreak havoc on our peaceful city. So far, they have killed some dozen innocents and laid waste to many local businesses. And for some reason, I couldn't guess why, they are targeting banks more than everything. As it stands, my establishment is one of the 2 remaining banks in the city, the other being the government-run Bank of Zextria. I live in constant fear that my life's work will be ruined by these monsters, and frankly, I'm surprised they haven't come after me yet, given the animosity between my people and theirs. Sea elves and the fishmen are famously enemies. This is where you come in. I have something in the way of guards, and he gestures to those pirates. But I believe, But I believe I've located the hideout of their leader, a mutated seaman who the Alliance has taken to calling Throat Crusher, after the way he defeats his foes. I will be taking my men and a small force of the Hammerhead Alliance to defeat him tonight. I need you all to keep watch over my establishment while I am gone, and for this I can pay you handsomely. 500 gold apiece.
500 gold just for watching this place.
Yes, for the night, making sure nothing is taken, keeping it safe, and if any of those damned seamen do arrive, slaying them and giving me their heads.
This'll be easy.
Would you pay for each additional head?
500 gold is quite the sum for one night of work. I can't pay you any extra than that. Although, if you do the job well, I'm sure this could be a working business arrangement.
I have a question. This bank seems to be doing quite well.
Yes.
People seem to trust it a lot.
Of course.
So I'm wondering what other defenses you have for the money being kept here besides 3 guards. There must be something more.
Make a persuasion check.
15.
Yes, you're very astute. I have many, as a successful businessman, I have the funds to hire, I had the funds to hire an individual of the Extant Sortilegium to come and enchant my safe. It is, you cannot gain access unless you know the proper ritual to open it. And I have other magical defenses laid out and about, but I've just met you, so I can't exactly describe them in full to you.
Understandable, but as little as you can if you expect us to protect it.
No, just don't go opening any doors. I tell you not to. Otherwise, I could not be held responsible for what happens to you.
Do you have a general blueprint of the bank? And
Yes.
Is it an exit for you to go?
Samson will be here with you over the night, and he will make sure that you know where you need to be and where you're not supposed to go. Treat him well. He's a dear.
Sounds like a deal to me.
Oh, good to hear.
Down my glass.
It's good. It's very cold. It's brandy.
My character's always drinking. I think I'm good.
So, do we have a deal? I know we have one, yes.
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah. Well, what are you trying to figure out?
If he's on the up and up, if he's telling us the full truth.
Okay.
Well. That's a 9.
Yeah, he seems to be very worried about his place of business, and he seems to trust your guys' strength more than his men as far as guarding is concerned. These guys don't seem like guards so much as murderers, so.
Yeah. I guess it's a deal. And then I take my glass and look at him like,
Oh, not a fan of ice shard brandy.
I like to keep my head.
That's fair. But once the job is done, I insist you try it. It's made of the ice-cold grape native to Skembra. It's delicious.
Oh,
A very, very rare treat. As you know, the Skembrans don't like their outsiders, but we have a man on the inside. And how about you?
I already said sounds good.
You look familiar. Do I know you from somewhere?
Nope.
Alright. Well, good. You have until sundown before I expect you to report here. Report to Samson. Explore the town. I don't know if any of you have been here before, but there's many, many interesting things to see. Be back by sundown, and we have ourselves a deal. Now enjoy. And he sort of bows to you, and then walks back up his stairs.
I don't trust him.
He seems slimy, but a lot of rich people are slimy.
I'm not rich and I'm slimy.
I know.
Yeah, it's just like fucking phlegm on the table now.
Oh God.
Move my.
I mean,
Missing some.
seems easy.
2.
Shouldn't be a problem.
I know I'm capable. I know Millicent's capable. I'm assuming you two are capable.
Tapper, by the way.
I'm Wallace. Wallace Von Grimby. And that's my real name.
Insight check.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
24.
10.
I get deception.
Where's my wisdom? There it is. 11. This one's getting total die.
17? Oh, the only one. To you two, seems on the total up and up, but Deirdre, you're like, what?
I wink.
You hear a voice from the back of the bar that says, Oi! That's Squid! You see the 3 pirates like nudging each other and pointing over in your direction.
I kind of glance over there, immediately recognize them, and I'm like, I want to go check out the town. Does anyone care to join me?
No.
I don't know. I'm thinking about checking out. There was a magic item store, wasn't there? And
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
She owes me.
Actually, maybe we should walk around the
They start
perimeter.
walking in
Yeah,
your
let's
direction.
actually start walking right now. Hey, why don't you stand on this side?
I got nowhere to be.
2 of you get hustled on out.
Well, I'm talking to you.
Of course,
I
yeah.
really want to get to know you. So where are you from?
I think he's trouble.
Really? Or was your first yes?
Well, just watch him.
Alright.
Let's go.
Alright, so y'all go. Where are you headed?
What's outside?
You outside. It's like an open market square. It seems to be sort of a central gathering area. There's a bar called the Blushing Maiden over on one side of it. There's a theater. There are a bunch of fish stands. There's one jeweler, and that's about it.
Let's move to a place less fishy.
Alright, let's go to the magic shop.
Okay, but I want to get back soon. I want to get the layout.
Excuse me.
My armor's back to the way it was.
Cool. Yeah, you see it. The armor changes. It's pretty cool.
I like the dress.
It's impractical for streetwear. You look great, though. I mean, radiant.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I called back to those two. Don't do anything stupid. I need this money.
I'll be in the bar.
You are left totally
Head
alone.
over to the grocery bin.
I'm gonna walk around the perimeter of the bank and like see if there's anything that I should like know about it.
We'll start with you, Peter.
This is gonna be a real
So you walk in. It's not like the diviest dive bar you've ever been in, but it's certainly nowhere near as fancy as that place you just were in.
do the exact thing I do in every bar.
Alright.
I'm gonna walk up to the bartender.
It is a gnomish man. He's actually standing on the bar and heavily drinking.
Ah.
Welcome to the Blushing Maiden. I'm the maiden. How can I help you?
I was wondering if a man like you, and of course I'm kind of playing into the drunk
Yeah.
act a little bit. Wonder if a man like you in an establishment like this might have
Michael.
I'm looking for a.
You keep going. Who's trying to get the shot?
I was wondering if a man like you in an establishment such as this.
It's quite fine.
It's quite fine. It might have an old bottle of a certain ale laying around, the old birch.
Oh, I do have a bottle. It's
Really?
almost empty. My father had it, and he told me never to sell it to anyone.
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, that sounds.
We
about
drink it
right.
on special occasions.
I understand.
Is it your birthday?
As a matter of fact, it is.
Make a deception check at advantage. With advantage. Ah, you swindler.
Worth a shot.
I got plenty of other things though. I got Stormbringer's brew. It's the finest from Zymor.
Listen, you have to understand the old burnt birch. Near and dear to my heart.
How are you keeping a supply of that? They went out of business so long ago.
It's not about keeping a supply. It's about getting business back moving.
Oh, you're trying to bring it back. Well, if you bring it back, let me know. I'd love to be somebody who could supply it and bring the sailors into the Copper District, liven this place up a bit.
Oh, believe me, if I find the brew, it's going to be in every store all over the world.
Well, come to
Every
me
bar.
first. We're best friends now. It's
Of
my
course.
birthday.
Oh, it's your birthday. Look, it was your birthday. We should have some of the brew.
Make another deception check. Or persuasion. Make this one persuasion.
Persuasion? 19.
19. He goes, and that's a good point. And he sort of walks and falls off the bar with a heavy. He goes, oh boy, where is it? You hear some rustling, and you see familiar bottle get placed up on the thing. It is really like very, very close to empty. There's barely any left. He's like, one for you, one for me, best friends, and we'll always be. And he pops it open and he pours a little bit, just like a sip into two glasses. Hands one to you. Takes one for himself. Ah! Oh, it's the best brew. Hi, we're back from our impromptu break. Yeah. So, welcome back to the party dungeon, I guess. So we were right in the middle of an interaction where you had gotten some of your famous
The
beer.
burnt birch ale.
Yeah, the burnt birch ale. He drank it and.
I'm gonna attempt to actually sleight of hand it.
Okay.
And like just stash that.
Okay, go for it.
Possible. 13.
Well, he's gonna make a reception check, disadvantage, and he rolled a 2. So
Cool.
you successfully take it because he's got his eyes closed and he's just sort of like loving the taste of it.
I'm gonna head out. Water.
Oh, you're not gonna buy anything? It's all right. Come back later.
I was like tossing the gold. I was like,
Whoa! He totally misses it.
I'm just happy to have this and get out of there.
Cool. You book. You were casing the joint.
Yeah.
So as you start to go around the back. You notice that other than that front door, there don't seem to be any entrances and exits.
No windows, no.
There's some windows up high, but no on the ground floor. Pretty much nothing. Make an investigation check for me.
13.
We're going to put some mystical intrigue on for this.
Oh.
Sorry, what did you get?
13.
13. Okay, so as you're looking around, you don't notice any exits or entrances. Some windows up on what looks like the second floor on the very back of the building. And as you get around to the back, you notice that the dock is quite thin. Out behind this place, there seems to be sort of a back alley of a lot of channels. The docks seem to lead to nondescript warehouse sort of buildings. Sort of the back end of the copper district. This is about as close as you can get before you get back into the port district. The alleyway behind the dock directly behind the building is very, very thin. You have to walk sort of sideways to get around it. It doesn't seem like it is used very often to walk on. And as you're walking across, you do notice what looks to be a sewage exit below this dock, though no water seems to be coming out of it at the moment. You realize that the windows that were in the lounge must have been illusory because there are no windows on the lower floor here.
Can I go check out that sewage exit?
Yeah, you want to jump in the water? Get it?
Yeah.
All right, sploosh on down. You go over and you see that the sewage exit, instead of a grill, like a gate that would normally be on there, there is a door with a keyhole.
Is there anything else fishy underwater?
Fish. Make another investigation check. 3. Nothing you can really make out. You're right in the middle of the city. It's pretty. This water's pretty polluted. It's hard to make much of it.
Can I try the door?
Yeah. You go up to it and you sort of jiggle it. It is locked. You notice that the key is the keyhole is very strange. It's not like a normal keyhole. It's jagged, and an abnormal key would fit in there.
Can I attempt to pick it?
Yeah, sure. Do you have proficiency with thieves' tools?
No. I have proficiency with improvised weapons.
Yeah, that'll do it. You can try to force it open, but you don't know how to pick locks.
Okay, I have a lot of chains and.
Cool. So make I'll say make a strength check to see if you can force it open. 14. You try and it budges a little bit, but not nearly enough. And as you do so, you feel some colder water rush out from behind the door and hit you. You can breathe underwater, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't quite get it open.
Okay. I'll swim back up and I'll kind of come back.
Cool.
To the land.
Come back to the land. You get up on the surface. You guys, you were going to
The magic items.
shop.
the glistening tinder. Alright, so you walk up to the glistening tinder. The lights on the inside are on now.
Can I pull Millicent aside before we enter and say, okay, I'm just going to say this to you. I, for one, don't have a lot of money to buy anything. So I don't know about you, but I might ask if we could pool money to get one thing that would be helpful for this.
Alright.
I don't think this is going to be a shopping day for one-on-one.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not really,
It's a little embarrassing.
no, I get it. I totally get it.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I
we
don't
could
get
also, we could put things on layaway. We could come back once we get paid.
An IOU?
And
The door swings open. Oh, I remember you! You're the one who helped me put the sign up earlier. Come in!
Here we go.
Here we go.
Welcome to the glistening tinder. You go in. It's pretty barely. It's not terribly furnished. It seems like it's a new shop. She's just starting up her business. The shelves are not totally lined with stuff, though it's like got decorations, but clearly not a ton of products yet. It's like, welcome! It's only my first week of opening the store here, so I don't have much, but it's the only magic item shop in this here town, so I've got some things. Hey, give me a second. And she runs around the counter. You hear like some steps, and then she appears standing like at head height behind the counter.
All right.
What can I do you for? Millicent, right?
Yes. Yep. Do you have any items that would aid in perhaps guarding, monitoring, being alert?
I have, I've got a ring of mind shielding here, so that's good for guarding. She places it on the table. I've got some potions of healing, some potions of superior and greater healing, both of those. That's all as far as guarding would go. I've got some other interesting things, though.
What other things do you have?
I got, now these are rare, and she takes out these, like, little pots. One of them is green, one of them is blue, and one of them is red. She says, these are pots of Nolzor's marvelous pigments. What you paint with these paints, it becomes real. Very, very rare item. I've got a potion of speed, which could be fun. I've got this here magic scroll. It's a 4th level spell, vitriolic sphere, if you're into acid. Of the hurtful variety, not of the, you know. And I have a ring of swimming, which could be helpful.
How much is the ring of swimming?
100 gold pieces. I couldn't help it over here saying that's a lot. That's my second least expensive item at the moment.
What's your least expensive?
A potion of speed, 50 gold pieces.
I'm not willing to go in on that.
But I could give you the potion, the ring of swimming for 50 gold because you did help me earlier. It's a bit of a discount, but you seem like friendly faces.
Would you be willing to do that?
Yeah, 50 gold pieces for the ring of swimming.
Thank you so
On the condition that you spread the news around about my place to the people around the town if you see them.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, of course.
Very new. All right, perfect. Well, thank you very much. And she pulls out this sort of blue ring with a little aquamarine crystal in it.
Do you want it, or should I, or do you,
like, I don't know. How about just keep it in your pocket?
All right,
We'll
just
figure out what.
we'll
what
figure it out
you
later.
need.
We'll
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Awesome, that's what we think.
Okay. I don't know about you.
Now it's I can work on that. We're fine. Thank you.
Yes,
so
of
very
course.
much.
Some strange customers, but good ones.
We will return
With
with.
we will advertise.
Yes.
We will advertise.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I hope my investment is worth it. Have a nice day.
Thank
You too.
I've never been this poor in my life. You know, it's fun. There are people that are worse off.
I have nothing.
You have your beautiful dress and your dazzling wit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to the bank. And I
Okay.
just kind of steer her to the bank.
Cool. Is there anything else the two of you want to do before we can sort of fast travel the sunset?
So I come out of the
Yeah.
the blushing maiden.
Yeah, Blushing Maiden.
Is there like an area off to the side that would be out of people's way, like just a bench?
There's little like alley docks that you
Okay.
can go to.
Okay. I'm gonna run over there out of the way and take this just open glass of ale.
Yeah.
And open up my brewer's supplies that I have with me, and just put some in a bottle and begin working with it to make sure it's actually what it is.
Cool. Make a brewer kit check.
What is my
It-
modifier for that?
I believe it is. It's your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom score. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll call it wisdom for now, and
we'll
I'll look at the
fudge it.
rules later.
That would be 23.
23. You spend some time with it. It takes you probably the better part of a half an hour to determine that while this is burnt birch ale, it is not the original burnt birch ale. It is a reproduction of it by somebody who was not your monastery.
Got it.
Somebody who did the same thing where they got a bit of it and they're like, I'm going to figure out how to make this, and then they
Right.
did. So while it has a lot of the same taste, it's not quite the same thing.
Okay. I'll just keep it bottled.
Cool.
Supplies.
Can I just say, before we cut to sunset, we go back to the bar and I continue mingling with the rich folk, and I talk about this wonderful place I was at. It was so nice.
Oh, it was one. Oh, what was the name?
I can't.
Oh, the glistening.
Tinder.
Glistening Tinder. I wrote glistening friend Tinder, and I didn't know which one.
Where'd that voice come from?
It was God himself.
God's with us.
Listening Tinder.
The glistening Tinder. Such a great atmosphere. Look at this ring.
Darling, I want to go back and invest.
Oh
you know, she's the only
Make
shop in
both
town.
of you make a charisma check.
Oh no!
15.
5.
You schmooze a couple people, but they don't seem terribly interested in buying magic items at the moment.
We did our part, yeah.
Yes.
All right. So as sunset comes, you all find your way back to the bar. As you do so, you are greeted by Samson, who is now wearing a nightgown and a little hat. He says, "Welcome. Thank you so much for helping out. So the master would like you to remain within the lounge and within the foyer here. One of you may station yourself outside the safe." And that's about all we would need. Do not go into the master's chambers at the top of the stairs, and please do not try to open the safe. It will not end well for you. But other than that, it is yours. I will be sleeping in the lounge, as I always do. And if you need anything, come get me. Thank you.
Your master mentioned blueprints of the layout of the establishment. Could we take a look?
Oh, I've never seen blueprints.
You haven't?
No.
Then why would your master say that?
Well, I don't know. I'm not him, am I? And he looks very nervous.
No. You seem like you know everything that's happening around here.
Oh, I know very little. The master is a businessman. He can't be sharing his secrets with someone as lowly as I.
Oh, how long have you been here, though?
As long as it's been around. He picked me up from the streets. I owe everything to Talsamar.
Oh, then you want to help him as best you can.
Of course I do.
Do you know of the layout that you can tell us what a vulnerable place is?
Well, yes. The only entrance and exit is this door right here. The windows in the lounge are illusory, so you don't have to worry about them. The room with the safe is fortified better than anywhere in this building, and I would say if someone was to break in through the walls, it might be in the lounge. and that's all I know, I suppose.
Okay.
Well, thanks a lot for your help. I think we've got it from here.
Of course. Have I seen you somewhere before?
No, you haven't. Thank you.
No, good night. And he stumbles off into the lounge.
Well, he's wrong.
What? What do you mean?
You know some?
While you guys were out schmoozing the town, I thought to do a little recon. And what I found... Can I help you, ma'am?
Keep going. I'm just remembering how little money I have.
There's a door. A back door. Underwater. I couldn't get into it, but I don't like the way it looks. I think if anyone's coming in, they're coming in through there. I want to find where it leads inside before anybody gets in here.
You couldn't get in?
No.
How did you... It was underwater, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So would it be in the basement?
Roughly how long did you swim before you had to get there?
It was like right under.
It's like right under.
I
The
went on
dock.
the rate of swimming. I can pick locks.
Cool. Well, it's over there. Outside to the left.
You want me to go alone?
Yeah. I'll come.
You two hang out. We'll take care of the foyer.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go.
Alright, so you exit and you
Put the ring on.
put the ring on.
Does it feel like I need to become friends with it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's not that good of a ring.
Okay.
Where are you? Nope, you don't have to become friends with it. You feel, as you put it on, you feel fun.
Swimmy.
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's go.
Michael. Cool. Cool. Go for it. You just have to. So you go around and you get to the place pretty easily. You kind of have to. And now that sun is setting, it's pretty chilly out here. The water is definitely putting a draft onto everything.
Make my robe all fur-lined and warm.
To go in the water.
I make my robe really small. Swimwear material.
Cool.
Alright, so I dive into the water, swim over to the little pipe, I show you the door.
You dive in. It does not help you breathe underwater. It just makes you swim faster. All right. So you show the door. I want you to make a thieves' tools check at disadvantage because you are underwater and holding your breath.
Well.
Oh.
10. No. 8.
Yeah. Okay. This is a lock you haven't really encountered before. You can't. It's hard enough as it is to do it underwater while you're holding your breath, while you have your eyes open under this sort of like polluted water. But also, like, the lock itself doesn't seem to be a typical lock. There's something odd about it. It's like shoddy craftsmanship, but in a specific way, and you can't get it before you have to go back up and get some air.
It was awful. Who made that? I thought the door wasn't underwater.
No, it was. Did I leave that out? I'm really sorry.
You know, where in the building are we? Like, what are we looking at?
You're on the back side of the building, and this is down below the dock.
Okay, I have an idea. Okay. I don't feel comfortable leaving this door unwatched. So, I take off my hat. And from it I pull a frog.
Ribbit. And it's like squirming in your hand.
I cast beast sense on the frog.
Okay, what does that do?
That means that I can see through the frog's eyes.
Cool.
And I say, I want you to go sit at that door. Don't move.
Ribbit.
And I send him down there.
And he swims away.
I get him. Take some of my rope. I tie him to the door.
And he just sits there.
Stay there. And I get up so I can see through his eyes. It's like our security camera. So I'm gonna go back inside. If anything happens down there, I'll know about it.
Is it a concentration spell?
Yeah.
And how long does it last?
An hour.
Cool. Cool. So now there's a frog tied to that door.
I have so many questions. Just follow.
Yeah, you saw the hat that they pulled out from under the bandana was a top hat that was just totally crumpled up under the bandana that they had to poof out, take a frog out of, and then crumple back down.
It's a lot cooler if I had the bandana over it. You get it. Anyway.
So you head back inside. What about you guys?
A fun, awkward silence.
Cool. So you're rejoined by your friends.
How is our water breathing ring?
It's just swimming. We just swim.
My last coin. For that? Are you kidding me?
No, deep breaths. Remember, 500 gold at the end. 500 gold at the end. And I'm gonna just lead her to a chair. I'm gonna lead you. Just sit and breathe. Sit and breathe. All right, the door couldn't pick it. I'm talking to you. Here. We couldn't pick the lock. We couldn't get in. We're gonna have to go in from the inside. It's okay. I'm like petting her hair. It's all right. We have to find a way down there from the inside. It's okay. It was in the back by the docks.
Got it. Back by the docks.
Can you tell by where you were outside the building where it would be inside the building?
Can we theoretically?
Make an intelligence check, we'll say. The two of you can do that, because you guys didn't see it.
Actually, I'm gonna roll this
It's hard to tell. It's definitely it's attached to the lounge somehow, but it seems not to lead to the lounge itself.
Can I just look around? So no one's really home at this point, right?
Just
It's
Samson sleeping over in the corner.
Sammy's over there.
He's already sleeping. He just conked out.
Not worried about him.
Samson did tell us to stay out of his master's office, which we know is right up those stairs.
Don't we want to go downstairs?
Where do you think the blueprints are?
Wait, but if we go in the room, we won't get 500.
Whatever we find downstairs might be worth more than that.
That seems a little immoral.
Hey guys, wait. Alright, wait. I just want to know, are we on the same page here? So we're here to rob this bank, right?
Stop it!
Okay.
Are we not? If we're not, that's fine. I'm just wondering.
No, we're not here to
Okay.
Alright.
God.
But there's an entrance that we were not informed of. It seems as though we have been set up to fail. You didn't trust him? I think you were right in your instincts.
Thank you, they're really good.
I'm not a fan of having the wool pulled over my eyes. So I say we figure out what exactly is going on.
And as you say this, you hear a blood-curdling scream from outside of the bank. Followed by another scream and then some pounding on what seems to be the front door of the bank. Samson, dead asleep.
I go over.
I'm gonna head over to the front door.
Yeah, I go over too, and I say, "Who is it?"
Please, open up! Please, open up! The bank is extra! It's under attack! Please! Please!
Insight check.
Go for it.
14.
Yeah, he's fucking... Whoever this is fucking horrified and scared and not having a good time.
Open door.
This guy, he has his arm. He's a human man. His arm is totally burned. He's covered in water and he looked panicked.
Close the door. I sit him down, calm him down, take out my med kit, and say, "Tell me what happened," as I heal him.
Well, the bank is extra. I work as a guard at the bank is extra, and the floor just burst open, and those fishmen, they came up through it. And
Up through the floor.
up through the floor.
Okay,
Through the only other competitive bank in town.
that would be it.
Does the frog see anything?
Frog sees nothing.
And the master and all of his goons are gone for the evening.
Please, you seem capable. Please, you gotta help. There's still people in there.
I'm going to the master's office.
All right.
I want to check the door for traps.
Make a check. Make your check.
Nope. 12.
There's no mechanical traps on the door, you don't think.
I'm picking it!
All right.
Ooh. 23.
23. You unlock it. It opens very slightly. It's very dark in the room.
Deirdre?
As I was doing the med kit, he gets healed 1d6 plus 4 plus his level, which I'm assuming is 1. So that's 7.
He seems fully healed.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. Run upstairs.
You're not gonna help?
We will. Shh. In a moment.
Okay. I'm gonna sit here.
Could I get some light, please?
Oh, sure. I cast light with my opera glove.
Yeah, you see this beautiful ornate opera glove. She holds it up and just light appears in her hand.
Alright. Just follow me.
You push the door open. Scoot this way a little bit. You push the door open, and the two of you enter. You shine your light about, and you hear the sound of dripping water. You find yourself in a large chamber made of stone. You see what looks like water dripping from the ceiling into a huge pool in the center of this room. Pretty much the only thing in the whole room, with the exception of the giant statue of a humanoid-looking shark. Tommy, could you?
Oh God.
That it's a fire giant, but pretend it's a shark.
Okay.
Hi guys, I'm Tommy.
That's Tommy. Tommy's the best.
He's the
Tommy.
best. Okay.
The voice
Man.
of God.
They're. Oh, and we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna take a quick break when we come back to describe the rest of the room. Woo! We shouldn't have all ended at the same time. We really shouldn't have. All right, welcome back to the party dungeon. In case you missed it, Michael and Emily put their toes together, and it was awful. Anyway, you had opened the door. You saw the pool. You saw the large shark statue. Other than that, it's pretty dark. There doesn't seem to be a ton else in this room, but your light is the only illumination.
Can you make a quick disclaimer and describe the piece of shit on the...
Yeah, oh yeah, okay. We don't have minis
Thank
for
you.
our people yet, so we just kind of picked of the ones of my limited miniature supply, and Alyssa picked an elf, and Michael picked a dryad, and it looks
It looks like a piece
looks
of
a
shit.
little like poo.
Okay.
We're gonna take a slow phone video then.
Go up close.
Just get a real close up of the piece of shit.
I eat a lot of
Put the phone video
veggies.
in afterwards.
Whoever makes the monster menagerie minis, we really appreciate you. But the
Thank you so
dryad
much.
does look like poop.
It's a turd. It's a turd. Okay.
Beautiful turn.
Yeah.
A
What a beautiful
turd.
mess.
Beautiful turn.
Cool. So you find yourself in this room. Yeah. What do you want to do?
This doesn't look like an office.
No, it does not. And here I was hoping for blueprints. I don't want to walk any further in unless we have backup.
Boys.
You hear
Boys!
this from at the top of the stairs. Yeah.
I turn to the guy. Listen, man, are you gonna be okay?
If you could help
I wanna run
us,
down the stairs. Run down the stairs.
You leave me?
You with the burn arm.
well, yeah,
You see the sleeping man?
yes.
Watch him like a hawk.
Oh, okay.
If he tries to do any funny business, knock him out.
Are you gonna come help with the bank? It's on
Yes,
fire.
yes.
All right, I'll go watch him.
Thank you.
He goes over.
Go back.
Alright.
I can't believe you
So
left
I'll
me.
follow.
That's right. Nobody.
So you go a little farther in, so we can fit everybody in here.
Welcome to the office.
This is not an office.
Yeah, I'm not an office worker myself, but this does not look like an office.
Okay. Nothing seems to be happening.
Dude, can I make an insight check on that shark man?
An insight check?
Like, do I recognize the shark?
You can make a nature or a religion check.
Yeah.
Which one?
Religion. I got a 20, not natural.
20. Cool. You do recognize this. This is a statue of the shark god Sakola, the patron deity of the Sahuaghin, the Fishman.
Hey, guys, something a little weird. That's the patron deity of the Sakola. If they were really trying to defend this bank from them, I don't know if they'd have a statue of their main deity here.
How much money do you want to bet that if we jumped in that pool, we'd be somewhere that leads to the door we found under the dock?
500 gold?
You're clever. I like that.
So you're telling me we're supposed to be protecting the bank from the fishmen who have the statue in the bank?
This is probably a very elaborate ruse and alibi for them to get rid of competing branches.
Yeah.
Is there anything else in the room?
It's hard to tell because the only light in the room is your hand right now.
Yeah.
You could walk farther in and try to look.
Can I take out a ball bearing from my burglar's pack?
Yes.
I just want to throw it in the water.
And then the water starts to bubble a little bit.
Yep. All right.
And out from the water itself seems to rise up, and you see what looks like an empty suit of armor rising with it. Then it appears above the water, solidifies, and the armor cases itself around the water. The thing comes up out of the water. It seems to be a being made entirely of water. Points a watery trident in your direction. I want everybody to roll initiative. It's a fight time. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to come around to each of you in order. So we'll start with you, Pemberton.
Initiative.
Wallace.
Plus what?
Dex.
6.
9.
Millie. Ooh.
18.
Nice.
Same.
Deirdre.
But 8.
Well, not quite the same. Alright. Cool. So, this individual, this thing, is going to make its way over in your direction. Right up to you. It's going to brandish its trident, and it's going to start swinging it at you. And as the trident comes down towards you, you can see that it is water, but it encases itself in this icy covering as it swings in your direction. So that is a garbage 14 to hit.
Nope.
17 plus 7, so I'm going to go ahead and probably say that probably hits.
I'm gonna dodge it though.
All right, and its third attack is 10.
Yeah. No.
So dodge, meaning you take half damage?
Yeah.
Uncanny dodge? Cool. So that is 9 points of piercing damage plus an additional 10 points of cold damage.
Halved or not halved?
So 19 in total, halved.
No halved.
You feel as you dodge the first strike, the second strike you almost dodge, but it scrapes up your arm, and the second one you pull out your rapier and you just deflect it out of the way. You feel like you got off pretty well, but then you feel the ice start to coat your arm. Your speed is reduced by 10 until the end of this thing's next turn. It is then going to disappear below the water. You do get an attack of opportunity.
Oh, absolutely with that rapier. 91.
All right, and the rapier gets caught in the trident and sucked under the water with it. All right, that makes it Tapper. Your turn.
And there's no enemy within.
You certainly saw all that happen. As the water began to bubble, I forgot to say this. A light in the center of the room just glowed on. Now there's a blue light illuminating the entire room. You notice that there are sort of desks and tables and stuff around in this area.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna run up to the water and kind of gingerly look in.
All right.
But if there's nothing
Here-ish.
Yeah.
You do see the armor sort of hovering probably 5-10-ish feet below the surface.
Okay. But if there's, I can't really make an attack against that.
Not with your fists.
No. Not with the staff either.
You could try.
All right.
It'll be a disadvantage, but you could make an attempt.
Yeah, I'll try that. I'll attempt a quarterstaff attack. Disadvantage, you say?
I do.
9?
9. Yeah, that's you just into the water. Really nothing.
Nothing else I can do. I'll try again.
All right.
Okay. That's 21.
21 will hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
21. You bing. You make contact with the armor. It seems like.
It's just 9.
9 points of damage. Cool. And it's a mundane quarterstaff.
Yeah.
So you hit it, and you're not sure really how much it actually does, but you definitely hit it. Anything else you want to do?
No. It doesn't look like I really can do.
Cool. That makes it Millie, your turn.
My turn? Alright. I can see it.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna take out my short bow.
Your short bow.
My short bow. Not my crossbow, my short bow.
My short bow goes like this.
Is it deep enough in the water that it's in the range of a short bow, or do you need to back up?
It's directly in front of you at the lip of the pool. It's just about 10 feet down. So with a short bow aiming straight down, you're gonna be fine. You're not gonna need disadvantage or anything. You've got enough power there.
I'm gonna try to shoot it.
Cool.
Natty one.
Ding! Your bow string just snaps. This is not your lucky day.
I'm just gonna throw it in the water, and I'm gonna use my bonus action to help our blue friend.
Cool.
Their attack.
Wallace. Deirdre, it's your turn.
Okay, guys, move aside. Point at the thing, cast chromatic orb, lightning.
Ooh.
At it.
Nice.
15.
15 is not gonna hit.
Can I electrify the water though?
You see this ball of electricity just form in Deirdre's hand, and she shoots it down towards the water. It goes into the water, and it seems to fizzle out before it can reach the guy.
Awesome.
The water seems definitely a little staticky, a little charged, but not enough to do any severe damage yet.
Yeah. I'm gonna start moving in this direction to look at the decks.
Right, so you've already moved 5, 10
Yeah.
feet, so you have however many left.
Yeah. 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, you're here.
Cool. And that'll make it Wallace, your turn.
I'm going to run towards the water, and I'm gonna wild shape into a giant poisonous snake and go in there.
I don't have a giant poisonous snake mini, but I sure have this.
Alright, cool.
And it's about the same size, I believe. So you hop in the water, and you can swim on down to him.
That's what I'm doing. Do I reach him?
Yeah, he's about 10 feet down, so you're good.
Okay.
You're
I'm
also
gonna
under
try
the water.
and, like bite him, I guess.
All right, go for it.
And you have advantage because I helped you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Can I? So does the snake use my?
You use the snake's attacks.
Right, but like, so what do I? What's my?
You roll that, and then what is for the snake? What does it say for his
+6 to
attack?
hit.
What?
So it's a 19 to hit. So a 13. and
See
it's a
where it
+6.
says his attack bite +6.
Yeah.
So you just add the 6 to your roll.
So it's 19.
19. Yeah, that'll hit. Roll for damage.
And then he also takes 3d6 poison.
8.
8. What?
8.
We'll
piercing
re-roll it.
damage.
It went off the table.
7 piercing damage.
Okay.
And 3d6.
Don't roll the poison. As you bite into him, you feel the venom leave your fangs and just sort of become diluted in his watery body. Its watery body, I suppose. Cool. Yeah. That'll do. Anything else you want to do, or are you just gonna hang out with him there?
Can I like try and like wrestle him?
That'd be an action, so you can try to do that next time.
Okay.
Cool. You guys are just sort of This is you floating in the water.
Oh, we're kissing.
Okay, so it takes it back to this guy. He's going to see if his ice recharges. It does not. So he is first going to make a trident attack on you as a snake. So your AC is that of the snake. Oh man. That is a 9 to hit.
Nope.
Alright, he's going to try again. That is a 16 plus 7, so
Yeah, that is.
cool. So he's going to do 10 points of piercing damage to you.
Okay.
And then he's going to try to move away and upwards from you. So you can make an attack of opportunity if you want.
Yeah, well.
Cool.
Gonna try and bite him again.
Yeah, I figured.
That's 17.
17. You bite, but you just like catch the tail of the water as it swims away. And swim up to here, leave the water, come around to here, and make his final trident attack on Deirdre. That is a 16 plus 7.
Never mind. I don't mind.
Okay, you're just gonna take that.
I'll take it.
That's a 8 points of piercing damage.
Awesome.
Cool. That will make it Tapper. Your turn once more.
Okay, real quick, what's the scale?
Each square is 5 feet.
Okay, so okay, I'm gonna run over to the water elemental and just start attacking away.
Cool. Go for it.
So let's see. Yeah, so I'm gonna stick with the polearm for now, one-handed polearm.
Cool.
So that's I know it's 19.
Yeah.
So that's 28.
That'll hit. Yeah. Just barely.
Do you want me to roll all my attacks? And then
Yeah. Roll all your attacks and then do the damage.
that's 19. So
2 hits.
and then as a bonus action, I'm gonna throw in unarmed strike.
Cool.
That's a
9's gonna not hit so much. So you swing, you manage to make solid contact with both ends of your staff, and then you take your fist back and you punch, and it just goes through the water, and then you pull it back.
okay. So that was 2 connections. So that's 15.
15 total. Cool. So that'll be.
Yeah. The gentle drum beat in the background.
Yeah.
Combat.
Yeah, it's a 6-minute long track of drums. So
Alright, I'm in.
we're about 5.5 minutes in. Yeah. Okay. So when you splash through. Cool. You good, or you want to do anything else?
No.
Cool. Millie, your turn.
I'm gonna turn to face the water fiend.
Mhm.
Is Deirdre in my way if I were to hit it?
No, you could.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to where would be considered flanking,
You'd be flanking with Peter if you're here.
and I'm just gonna stab it with a dagger.
All right, stab it with dagger. Go for it.
This is the last weapons you have.
18.
18. That just misses. You bing, right off the side. This is the worst. This is the worst fight you've ever participated in.
And I'm just gonna look it in the eyes.
It doesn't have eyes so much, but you can look at that helmet and just.
Where
I'm
eyes
gonna
would be.
help Deirdre.
All right.
Whatever she does.
You feel the rage coming from Millie. It is your turn, Deirdre.
I say, that wasn't nice! Shocking grasp.
Cool.
That's a 19.
19 will hit.
Oh my god, thank god. Okay. 2d8. 13.
13 points of damage. Cool.
Shocking damage. And he's wearing metal armor, right?
It is wearing metal armor, yeah.
Wearing metal armor is that it means it doesn't take any reactions, right?
I don't know.
Don't hide, so I
I
can-
don't have
I'll look it up. Shocking
I don't
grass.
have
Yeah.
your
If I
thing.
don't die, I don't know what to do. And there wasn't enough room.
It seems like this has been one of the more effective strategies so far. It sort of shakes. I think that is what it means. So
Yeah.
we're gonna say that is that. Anything else you want to do?
It can't take reactions until the start of its next turn.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna. What's my Stay away!
You run away, and you see it try to stab at you with the trident, but its body is still reacting to
Yeah.
the thing.
How tall are the ceilings?
The ceiling is about 30 feet up.
Okay. Can I? I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Gabe, can I? So shape water allows you to freeze the water. If his body's water, can I freeze him?
You could try, yeah.
Okay.
But you can't do it as a snake.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously. So back in the game. So I'm gonna turn into a snake.
Still about 10 feet under.
Swim to the top. Or I guess before I turn into a snake, I use my snake powers
Yeah.
swim.
You swim to the top. You turn into yourself
Turn
there.
into myself. I cast the shape water cantrip at the water elemental's body.
How much water can you freeze?
Water that fits within a 5-foot cube.
Cool. So it's not that much of it, but
But can I go for like the head area?
Yeah.
Head and shoulders.
what is your spell save DC?
14.
14. He does succeed the save, so you see it start to chill a little bit, and then it doesn't seem to care that much.
Alright.
Cool.
That's all I can do.
It is its turn. It is angry, for sure. Doesn't get its thing back. All right, it's gonna take a stab at you to begin with. Fucking, I'm rolling so poorly. 11 to hit.
I'm
No.
fine with that.
All right, one towards you, Millie. 15 to hit.
Dodge.
Okay,
Okay,
so you do
dodge.
take
Yeah,
damage.
I take damage.
That's 8.
So 4.
Yeah. And yeah, it'll do that. It'll run after Deirdre. You get an attack of opportunity. You don't because you use dodge.
Yeah, I'll take it. That's just a normal.
30.
Just a normal.
Yeah, just normal attack.
Oh, that was so
11.
11. That'll miss. You sploosh through one more time. And then 15 to hit you, Deirdre.
It would, but I use my reaction to cast shield.
So as you see the trident hurtling towards your face, wave your hands in front of your face, and just this white energy just appears before you, and the trident smacks off of it. At this point, you see more bubbling in the water, a lot more bubbling,
Uh-oh.
like an unfortunate amount of bubbling. It is your
Guys,
turn, Tapper.
I ate beans before, but I swear it's not me.
It is your turn, Tapper.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna follow this water elemental.
All right.
Real quick, if I am gonna make a stunning strike, do I choose that after I've made the connection?
Yes. Yes. We'll say yes for now.
Okay.
And I could be wrong, and it's fine.
All right, then I'm gonna roll an attack. 22.
22. That'll hit for
Yeah,
sure.
All right.
For sure.
Roll a con save.
Constitution saving throw. That is a 15.
Ah.
Cool. Well, still hit.
Yes, that's one hit. The second hit's a 13.
13 will miss.
Okay, and then unarmed strike. 19.
19. That'll hit.
Okay. Same. So my unarmed strikes and my quarterstaff are exactly the same.
All right.
There's like no sense in one or the other except for damage.
Fucking monk.
So that's
Well, are your fists magic?
not yet.
Not yet.
So that's 11 damage.
11 damage. Cool. You smack it with your fist, and you like make a solid dent in the armor. It's not looking super happy with what's going on right now. Millie, your turn.
Alright. I'm gonna ditch the battle.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my full action to run as far as I can towards the papers and stuff.
All right.
So 60 feet. And then
You can be anywhere in this area, so that's where all this stuff was, right?
No, this is
somewhere.
Oh, you were here.
I was there.
Yeah.
Thither? Yeah.
Yeah. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55,
60. And then, yeah. Because I used my whole action to dash.
Yeah.
And then I'm there.
Cool.
So I'm not
You
being
sure ran.
effective.
You definitely did.
Sure ran.
Music's gone, so we're gonna start it up again. Cool. Yeah, you, Michael. Deirdre.
I say, stop following me! Another shocking grasp.
Alright.
And you get advantage if it's wearing metal armor. That was the metal
Oh,
armor.
that was the metal armor thing. Okay, cool.
And the reactions, though. Also.
And yeah, if you cast it, it's not reaction.
20.
20. That'll hit.
Okay. So that's 14.
14. Yeah, cool. It does not like this electricity. Not one bit. It doesn't make sound, but it thrashes and waves around.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 25, 30.
Cool. Running away.
These Stop
Wallace.
making me chase this thing.
I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna peek my head underwater and see what's under there.
You see coming from what looks like sort of an exit shaft, a fucking giant shark.
Nice.
Is it coming towards me?
Sure is.
I'm gonna swim up to it and I'm gonna hit it with my club.
Your club. All right, cool. You pull out your fucking
Right on the nose.
giant. It's like a green bone club, and you smack him.
Boom. Oh my god. I need to every time with the attack thing. It's
Strength and proficiency.
so that's
Strength modifier and your proficiency
I know
bonus.
it's simpler if I can't do it. 16.
16 will hit. Yeah, there's no armor on this boy. Roll your damage.
Oh, I actually don't know how much.
It's a club.
Like a D4, right?
No.
D6.
I'll look up your club damage beforehand.
No, I didn't do that.
I think a club is D6.
No, it's a D4. Unless it's a great club, but I don't think it
It's
is.
a belaying pin.
Yeah, that's just a club. So that's 1d4 bludgeoning damage.
Just
Plus your strength modifier.
2.
Plus your strength modifier?
2.
You bop that shark right on the nose. He doesn't like it much, but it also doesn't seem to affect him too much. He's going to go ahead and bite you real hard. Or at least he's going to try. Natural 20. So he is going to bite you real hard. Ooh.
What you doing swimming up to a shark like that?
You're supposed to hit him on the nose.
31 points of piercing damage.
Hit him in the nose, not
As he just bites into you and rips away a chunk of your flesh. It doesn't feel great. It does not feel great at all. You've been bitten by sharks before, but cool. The elemental is going to whip around, not get its thing back, but take 3 full strikes on you, Peter.
Let's do it.
That is a 20,
Hits.
15,
Does not hit.
and 19 plus 7, so 2 hits.
Perfect. 2 hits.
So the first hit is going to do 5 points of piercing damage, and the second hit is going to do 10 points of piercing damage.
So 15.
Yeah, 15 in total. As it stabs into you, pulls out, sort of this like slash with its thing. You block it, and then it takes the back end of its trident and like slashes you across the face. It is this sharp bit of ice jagging off the edge, and it's just gonna stay there. It's decided it's gonna deal with you for now.
You and me. Let's do this.
Your turn.
Oh, yeah, my turn. Yeah, let's lay into this thing.
Cool.
Ooh, 12.
12? No. Not on your life.
23.
23 will hit, yes.
And then... Yeah, I'm going to make the other attack again.
Cool. You're saving up your key points, huh?
Yeah. So the attack would be 18.
18 just barely misses.
So it's just one.
So you pole arm through it, you pull arm right on the head with a gong, and then you try to punch it, and your hand just goes through it again.
10 damage.
10 points of damage, cool. Which is that. So it is. Cool. Cool. Still looking pretty hardy, pretty healthy, but that's about it. Millie.
I'm gonna actually keep going on trajectory and go up to the statue.
Cool.
And can I just investigate the statue?
Make an
for
investigation check,
interesting?
yeah.
16.
16. It's a wooden statue. You don't really recognize this shark deity very well, but you heard what Wallace has told you. Something interesting you do find is at its feet there are a bunch of seashells with scribblings written on them in a language you don't understand. And I know you know a lot of languages, but this one you don't. That's the most interesting thing about this. It doesn't seem to be magical or enchanted in any way.
Can I stomp on the seashells and crush them?
Yep, pretty easily. You smash a bunch of them.
And then I'm going to take the rest of my movement and go back to the dock
Cool. You see blood. Oh, you do see blood rising from under the water. This isn't happening on the surface. This is happening below. But you see a lot of blood coming up from where Wallace
And I'm
was.
going to yell, help!
Deirdre, your turn.
Okay, I also see
Yeah,
the blood.
you do.
So I'm gonna do like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Can I kind of like...
You look in. It's hard to make out, but you see a large dark shape and a smaller dark shape.
I'm gonna assume.
Yeah, you can assume something's going on
So
down
I'm
there.
gonna
Unpleasant.
cast Mass Healing Word
Cool.
on all 4 of us.
Cool.
And so... let's see. 7. Everyone's healed for 7 points of damage.
Cool. Everybody heals for 7 points.
7 points.
Ooh. Did you guys miss the drums? Cause they're back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
And then-
love their work.
And then I'm gonna use use up 2 sorcery points on use quicken spell, so I can use another spell as a bonus
Yeah, yeah.
action. And I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead on the big shape
Cool.
in the water.
Does it has to pass a save, or you have to hit it?
No, it has to pass a Wisdom save. 16.
16. It does not,
Okay.
and it has been damaged, so you get to do your
Yeah,
additional damage.
2d12.
You hear you see Deirdre first say a word in a language. What do you know, Celestial?
No, not
Cool.
that one.
You hear Deirdre say a word in a language you guys don't understand. You feel better as the room sort of lightens up for a moment, and then you hear a loud ringing noise as Deirdre holds her hand out.
14.
14 points of damage.
No problem.
And Wallace, you see the shark start to writhe around. Something didn't feel so good on that boy. Cool. That'll make it. Wallace, your turn.
I'm gonna watch it into a crocodile.
Okay.
I have the stats up.
I don't have any more minis. We're just gonna
We're gonna
pretend
use
that
our
you're. Yeah,
imagination.
you're.
I have minis.
Do you have a
They're-
crocodile?
They're people.
No.
I'll just put them like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, perfect.
He's
Yeah.
crocodile.
And you, as a crocodile, yeah, you're there. Sort of treading water. You're sinking. You're sinking to the bottom here quickly, but not fat. You can do what you want before
I'm
you
gonna,
do that.
I'm gonna try to bite the shark.
Cool. Bite the shark.
Because he bit me.
An eye for an eye.
Shark.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
that one.
Wait, you were helped, right?
No.
I yelled help. I didn't use the help.
Oh.
You bite down really hard on nothing, and it doesn't feel great. Doesn't feel great on your body. And you sink with the momentum of your bite. It quickens your sink until you are on the ground, about 20 feet below the shark.
Do I see a door?
You see, not a door, but like a round hole, sort of like a drainage hole that leads out and down a little ways.
Can I go in there?
Yeah, you can. How much movement do you have as a crocodile?
20 feet.
50. Yeah, you can get in it if you want.
Yeah.
You go inside it. The shark turns around, probably with the intention of following you. But you go inside and you look down, and it is a sharp decline, and then it levels out and goes somewhere.
I think that's the door.
Cool. So you're there. The shark is going to swim after you and start biting you from behind. He's going to bite your butt, and he has advantage because you are bleeding.
Yes, doesn't quit.
Oh wait, because you have all your crocodile hit points right now, right? So it does not get blood frenzy, because you are not bleeding as a crocodile. That is a 17 to hit
Yeah.
your crocodile AC.
Yeah.
10 points of piercing damage as he bites into your crocodile tail. A beast versus beast down there. Alright, this thing is going to continue to fight you, Peter, as you seem to be its biggest threat right now.
Somehow.
So that's a 9,
Misses.
an 18,
Hits.
and 15.
Misses.
Cool. Only one hit today. So that's gonna be 7 points of damage. As you realize this is not really doing too much, No, it's gonna stay. It's staying. It's fighting you because it knows that one shocks it really hard. Your turn.
All right. Gonna make my first attack. That's a 20.
That'll hit.
Make your Constitution save.
Cool. That's a 17.
Damn it.
Doesn't have a great constitution. I'm just rolling well for those.
All right. I'll make another attack and then I'll do damage.
Cool.
That's a 16.
16 does not hit.
No, I'm gonna make it unarmed.
Cool. Just your bonus action.
Yeah, bonus action. That's even worse. That's 13.
Yeah, no. Nothing.
One hit.
You smack him hard.
The first one hit.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Put a ringer on that helmet. You've gotten consistent hits on the helm. Yeah, and then when you aim for the body, there's nothing.
6.
Okay. Yeah, he's still looking pretty healthy.
Party has abandoned me.
Millie.
Alright. I would like to search the files over there for anything that looks like it might end this.
Investigation check.
Natty 20.
Ooh, fuck you so hard. What is?
I think that's the first time.
What would that become?
It would become an investigation.
Yeah.
It would become 25.
Cool. So you search around very quickly and you find two things that are interesting. One of them is a lockbox. And you also find a trident ornately decorated.
I'm turning it and pointing it at the shark.
I hate you.
And do I have enough action to use it?
You can try.
I say stop.
Nothing happens. You feel as though something might happen were you to spend more time with this
I gotta
object.
be friends with them.
Thank you, 5e, for attunement rules.
I'm gonna put it away and just hold the lockbox.
Alright, I'm gonna say that's your turn, probably.
Yeah.
Deirdre.
I'm looking at my two friends that are not doing too well, and I'm like, just do it, Deirdre! And I cast Chromatic Orb Lightning at this little boy. Come on. That doesn't hit.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 3.
That was a natural 1 reaction. And you're so sure it's gonna hit, and then it just goes off to the wall over there.
Yeah, but then she also does, she has crossbow bolts, pricks her hand a little bit, and jumps in the water and says,
Go over here!
You wave your hand around. Cool. Wallace.
I'm gonna swim toward Deirdre, I guess.
Okay, well, in order to swim towards Deirdre,
gotta
you're
get
gonna have to get past
past
the sharky.
I'm gonna bite the shark on the way.
All right, cool. Yeah. So you have to force your way past the shark. So make an attack roll.
Why does God hate me?
Dice God. He doesn't have a high AC.
Jesus.
But 6?
Higher than that, actually. You try to bite at the shark, but it sort of swims up and out of the way, giving you a perfect opportunity to swim under it. But it is going to try to bite at you as you swim under it. And that is a fuck me. 13 to hit.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. 16 points of piercing damage.
That crocodile is dead.
You pop out of your crocodile form, and you're now back to your normal form, but you swim over towards Deirdre.
Yeah.
On his turn, he's gonna swim up, and you're both bleeding. But you look tastier. And it's going to take a bite attack at you. That is not great. 11.
does not hit.
Just huge jaws swing at you.
No!
And you hit it on the nose, and it goes...
No!
Cool. The thing is gonna keep attacking you, Peter, because it doesn't have any other fucking options. Natural 20. A 13.
The 13 misses.
And a 14.
14 misses.
Alright, so Scott is natural 20.
Super.
Nice. 16 points of piercing damage as he slashes it, and it hits you like right in the chest, digging in very deep. And he sort of forklifts you up a little bit and then pulls off, and you crumple a little bit.
So I'm not doing too hot over here.
And it notices, and it sort of like twirls its trident a little bit, and like in a cool way, even though it's not sentient. And we'll come to your turn in just a moment when our camera is working. And then they never started working again. So yeah, we continued to play for the rest of the session, but that is where our cameras stopped working, and we did not realize it till later, unfortunately. To fill you in on what happened at the end there, through a series of poor rolls and poor decisions, Tapper, our elven monk, lost his life. They were rescued by the Triton they had seen earlier. She scurried them away and used a resurrection spell to bring Tapper back to life, though this time in the body of a human. And as they all went to sleep and Tapper had to start dealing with human dreams, this Triton described that she was on a mission to kill a Malenti, Sahuaghin, who is born to look exactly like a sea elf and exactly what Talsimar was. She scolded the party for getting in her way and causing a ruckus, and then she went off to solve the case on her own. The party spent the night in prison, and it wasn't a terribly fortuitous start to this fledgling party, and lucky for them, I decided that it's not going to be canon. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed our promo. Sorry I had to end so abruptly like that. If you contribute to our Kickstarter and we get enough money, we will be able to get cameras and equipment to make sure that will never happen again, and perhaps up the production quality a little bit as well. So yeah, check out the link to our Kickstarter and see if you would like to contribute to that. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.